Hey guys, tonight's video note topic is operations on functions. So as you all know, operations means adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So four main operations, and we're going to also look at a composition of functions. So the symbols, when you see this symbol here, it means to add function f plus function g. And that means the same as that. Add function f plus function g. When you see this symbol, the difference, this means to subtract function g from function f. Product, when you see this symbol here, or this symbol here, this means to multiply the functions together. And quotient, when you see this symbol here, or this symbol here, it means to divide the functions together. And the denominator, remember, cannot be equal to 0. You can never have a 0 in the denominator. It's undefined. Okay? And then last but not least, we have a composite function that may look like this little circle. This is how you read it. F of g of x. F of g of x. So what happens here is we're taking function g and we're going to substitute it into function f everywhere we see an x. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So let's take a look at some examples. Here we're adding the functions together. So here's function f, here's function g. The best way to do this, in my humble opinion, is when you're adding them together, line up the like terms. Okay, so here's function f. We are adding function g. Notice I lined up the like terms. So adding them, 2 plus negative 4, negative 3 plus 2. And there's nothing to add to x squared, so that just comes straight down. And there is function f plus function g. The answer, if you will. Letter B, multiplication. So we are multiplying the two functions together. So there's a couple different ways to do this. One way is to distribute. So here we would have x squared minus 3x plus 2. We're multiplying that times 2x minus 4. So if you're going to use distributing, I would take the shorter one and distribute it, multiply it times each term. So 2x times x squared is going to be 2x cubed, because remember, when you multiply like bases, you add the exponents. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2x times negative 3x is negative 6x squared. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 2x times 2 is 4x. Then we have to distribute the other one. So we have a negative 4. So negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Notice I'm lining up my like terms. Negative 4 times negative 3x is 12x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. The reason I do that is because after you're done multiplying, you need to combine like terms to simplify it. So we have 2x cubed. Negative 6 plus negative 4 is negative 10. bring down the x squared. 4 plus 12 is 16. And the minus 8 comes down. And we have our answer. Okay, dividing. So notice that on top we put function f, and on the bottom we put function g. Now in pre-calculus you'll learn how to actually do long division, and we actually will do this second semester, but for now let's just leave it like that for now. Okay. We could simplify it by factoring and doing some canceling, but we'll just leave it as that for right now. And then let's do this last operation over here, subtracting. Now this one's tricky, so pay attention. Alert, alert, alert. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay, minus, now here's where you have to be careful. I hope you're paying attention and you haven't fallen asleep. Wake up, read. Notice what I did. I subtracted and I put this into a quantity. Used grouping symbols here. It's a group of 2. Because, the reason why is because I want to make sure that I subtract both of them. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and distribute this -1, this -1 here. I'm going to distribute this negative, or this minus, onto both of them. So we're going to have x squared minus 3x plus 2 minus 2x plus 4, because a minus and a negative make a plus. So combining our like terms, we'll probably do a warm-up problem and practice this, because this is probably the one that's the most difficult. Okay, D. We have f of g of x. That's how you read that, f of g of x. So we're plugging g into f everywhere we see an x. So what's g? 2x minus 4. So we're plugging this function into function f everywhere you see an x. So I see an x, so I'm going to substitute in 2x minus 4. Notice how the x has been replaced with 2x minus 4. Oh, another x. So this x gets replaced with 2x minus 4 plus 2. Now we're going to go ahead and do this, finish this in class. In case I forget, remind me, and we'll simplify that together. Okay? All right. You know what? We're moving on 9 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video right here, because I think I gave you enough information for right now. And we'll look at question number 2 a little bit later. Hope you're having a great weekend.